All right, let's go. Did I get in on the beginning of a match? Yes, I did.
It's Spider-Man plus Venom Day
Finally.
finally returns to everything in Secret Wars. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think will be in that Endgame pre-release post-credits scene. And are you excited about Tobey and Andrew both being confirmed for Doomsday? Like the video and subscribe so you do not miss anything coming up. Play now.
Let's climb, let's climb, let's climb, let's climb. The trick is to try and climb at 300 kilometers an hour. That's the trick. There we go. There we go. Let's fly over to England over there. Who's that? Who climbed up there above me?
Okay, so
Strange
today we're
tiger.
something genuinely massive cover. A full plot line for Avengers Secret Wars has surfaced online, and it is causing absolute chaos across the entire Marvel fandom. On top of that, we have some significant MCU updates, including a major symbiote rumor for Brand New Day, Doctor Strange's surprising role in Doomsday, Ghost Rider potentially showing up, and more. Full spoiler warning before we get into the Secret Wars section. Let's get into all of it right now. So let's start with the Secret Wars plot, because this is what everyone is talking about. Now, before we dive in, keep in mind that nothing has been officially confirmed. This is just a leak, so take it with a grain of salt. But with so many Marvel leaks turning out to be real recently, it's definitely worth discussing. So, with that said, let's break it all down. According to this leak, Avengers Doomsday ends with Doctor Doom. He creates Battleworld, the remnants of the multiverse, resurrects all the characters, wipes their memories of their past lives, and establishes himself as God Emperor. 1 year later is where Secret Wars picks up. Battleworld is set in what appears to be a medieval era, and the vast majority of people living there genuinely believe this world has always existed. Their past lives have been completely rewritten. They are now barons, rulers, citizens of different domains, none of them aware of who they truly were. However, not everyone has been completely erased. According to the leak, the characters who retain their memories include all three Spider-Men, Namor, the Young Avengers, Vision, She-Hulk, Deadpool, Jean Grey, Wolverine, Reed Richards, and Sentry. When these characters start to realize the full truth, that Doctor Doom is not just the ruler of Battleworld, but the literal engine keeping this reality alive, having stolen Loki's powers to actively maintain the entire construct, they decide to move against him together. Their plan involves splitting up and entering different domains of battle, searching for weaknesses in Doom's structure, and finding what the league calls glitched characters, people whose memories are starting to naturally come back, whose suppressed identities are beginning to break through the surface. This is actually a genuinely compelling concept because it means the resistance does not just come from people who remembered everything. It grows organically as Doom's hold on the reality is cracked. Now, Doom's inner circle of Battleworld is exactly what you would expect when you know the comics. Doctor Strange is said to be his second in command, which lines up with the rumors we've been hearing about Strange playing a Morris-type figure in Doomsday, essentially Doom's most loyal lieutenant. Yelena Belova is looking to be his third in command despite having no powers, which tells you a lot about how Doom values effectiveness over raw ability. Doom has also chained up Sentry, keeping one of the most powerful beings in existence locked away, presumably because even in a world he controls, Sentry is too unpredictable to be free. And then there is Steve Rogers, the one person whose memories Doom deliberately did not erase. Not out of mercy, but out of cruelty. Doom wants Steve to watch everything he built, and everyone he cared about be remade under Doom's image, while Steve himself has lost everything. Given the reports that Steve Rogers is partly responsible for Doom's family being destroyed, and the incursions he triggered by going back in time, this revenge is deeply
Yeah.
personal for
Once
Doom.
I got that
Now
hole in
here's
your
where the
wing.
plot gets genuinely exciting. The
You go.
resistance away.
There he is.
He refuses to help, but eventually they convince him, and Tony Stark is back in the fight. And in that same casino, they eventually find Loki, who is running the place as its manager, surrounded by Sylvie, Mobius, Ouroboros, and other TVA members that are all working. Loki does not believe their story at first and throws them out, but he too is eventually convinced. And Loki matters here because he is the only being who can actually reclaim
The fuck are you doing, man?
to maintain battle. The final battle involves all the surviving hero factions converging on Doom's castle.
Shouldn't fucking get in front of me like that.
Has gathered every vulnerability. Deadpool has somehow managed to restore Thor's memories, which might finally explain that emotional shot of Thor crying that we've seen in various promotional materials. The Young Avengers have rallied to the population. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is organizing resistance in New York.
Don't fucking get in front of me, man. Fuck. I'm pretty sure I've had issues with Sebastian before. Oh, which one was it? Oh no, it was Strange Tiger is the one who fucking cut in front of me.
Sue Storm, who has had her memories restored, Steve Rogers, who escaped Doom's prison with Union's help, Hulk, She-Hulk, Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Sentry, Loki, Tony Stark, Wolverine, and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man all go directly at Doom himself. Doom still beats them, almost kills all of them. Reed and Sue try to reach him, tell him that Battle World is not the answer to losing his family. Doom pauses, thinks about it, and then attacks anyway. But in that brief moment of hesitation, Tobey, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Tony Stark find just enough time for Loki to reclaim his powers from Doom, which collapses the God-tier abilities due to them using the whole Battle World together and allows the multiverse to be restored. Loki returns to his throne, but says goodbye to Thor and his TVA friends the whole week. Everything returns to normal. Characters then return to their own universes. Now, the League says the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool all return to their own realities rather than staying in the MCU. But this is the part that is hardest to believe, because Marvel has officially confirmed that Secret Wars will serve as a soft preview of the MCU, where all the characters, Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, everyone Marvel has rights to, will exist in a single unified universe going forward. Having everyone go back to their separate realities directly contradicts that. So take the ending of this league with particular caution. The ending for Steve Rogers is emotionally interesting, though. The TVA is said to take Steve to a new universe where he and Peggy and their son, who is resurrected in the multiverse, can exist without risking new incursions. But before he goes, Steve asks the TVA for one final favor. The movie closes on an older Steve Rogers being brought by the TVA to Earth 616 at the exact moment of Endgame's ending, where he passes the shield to Sam, says goodbye to Sam and Bucky, and then the TVA comes to take him home for good. Now let's shift to some other significant updates. Starting with Brand New Day, the runtime has been officially confirmed at 2 hours and 24 minutes, which is a solid length for this kind of film. And there is a rumor circulating that the symbiote piece that was left behind in the MCU at the end of No Way Home will finally factor into Brand New Day's ending. According to the rumor, by the time the credits roll, that symbiote will be back in the universe, which strongly suggests that being set up for a proper MCU role going forward. Given everything we know about the post-credit scene speculation and the various Venom hints that have been scattered throughout Brand New Day's promotional material, this feels like one of the more credible rumors floating around right now. On the Doomsday side, there are new reports suggesting Doctor Strange will be playing a variant of Boris, essentially functioning as Doctor Doom's most loyal right-hand man. Boris in the comics will be his most trusted servant and advisor, completely devoted to Doom's cause. Having Stephen Strange fill that role in the MCU version creates a fascinating dynamic, because this is something the Avengers trusted completely, now standing on the opposite side of the conflict. And finally, there is a new leak suggesting Ghost Rider could be appearing in Avengers Doomsday. Whether this is a small cameo or something more substantial is unclear, but given how many characters are being woven into this film, Ghost Rider showing up in some capacity would fit with the scale Marvel seems to be going. A Sentinel head was also spotted in set photos from the Doomsday production recently, which further confirms that what we saw in the leaked footage was genuine. So guys, that is everything for today's massive Marvel updates. The Secret Wars plot is definitely exciting.
Fuck did he go?
Parts of it should be taken with caution. Now I want to hear from you. Which part of this do you actually think will happen? And are you excited about Venom potentially getting a proper MCU setup for Brand New Day? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Yesterday I bought a jump store for $10. Got a $1 SIM card inside.
Welcome to the family!
I'm shot up pretty bad here.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Okay, so finally, the Avengers Doomsday trailer is here. And Marvel didn't tease it, didn't announce it, didn't make it film yet. They just dropped it out of nowhere. Crazy broken. After watching it frame by frame, I can confidently say that it was incredibly details, massive reveals, and story clues are packed into almost every scene. So let's get into it. Let's start with the moment that stopped everyone cold. Thor charges at Doctor Doom's Stormbreaker at full power. Lightning wrapping around his neck, pure rage on his face. And Doom stops him with 2 fingers. Does not move, does not flinch. Just raises his hand and catches the most powerful weapon in the MCU with 2 fingers, like it is nothing. Thor's strength is not what is on display here. What Doom is demonstrating is his magic. His sorcery overriding the raw power of a weapon forged from a dying soul. And the implications of that are enormous for the rest of the film. If Thor cannot make a dent in full power swing, what exactly are the other heroes supposed to do against this man? That single shot does more to establish Doom as a genuine, overwhelming threat than any amount of promotional material could have communicated. And the look on Thor's face immediately after it happens tells you everything about what the rest of the Avengers are going to be dealing with. There's another Doom shot earlier in the trailer worth pointing out. Except the delivery has an unfamiliar cadence that genuinely changes how the character feels. He says something is coming, something that cannot be stopped, and that a decision has to be made before the sun goes down. That kind of line matters because the hardest choice in any incursion is whether to destroy another universe before it collides with your own. And that decision is usually what turns heroes against each other. And the context around the Stormbreaker moment matters too. Before the confrontation, we hear Thor's speech, and it is one of the best pieces of writing in any MCU film. He says he has fought alongside warriors stronger than anyone in that room. They were powerful, they were brave, and they died fighting enemies who were dangerous. But he is more afraid of what is coming now than he was of anything they faced before. He is talking about Tony, about what that sacrifice costs. And he ends by saying that if they make it through this, they go home as a family. But only if a miracle happens. And then we see what that miracle looks like. Steve Rogers is back. Thor is inside the Fantastic Four ship, and Steve walks in across the room. And Thor's reaction is exactly what it should be. You cannot believe it. He moves to check, to test it, and pushes Mjolnir toward him. And Steve summons it. Like no time has passed, Thor's face in that moment, after everything, after years without him, is going to be one of the most emotional beats in any Marvel film. And Steve's look has changed. When we saw him in the December teaser, he was clean shaven, shorter hair than Steve remembered. Here he has a full beard and long hair. 10 years on Earth, 828 compared to when their son James in the past. That is the 10-year gap he's described. These are two very different points in the timeline, and this trailer just confirmed both. Now let's talk about the structural setup. Because one of the most useful things this trailer does is make the geography very clear and deliberate. The incursion at the center of Doomsday involves three universes colliding: Earth 616, the X-Men's universe, and Earth 828, where the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom are. And reportedly, the reason this is happening now traces back to how the Loki series ended. With nobody left to prove the divergent timelines anymore, alternate realities are no longer being contained, which means they are now free to drift into each other and collide. The trailer opens in the X-Men. Incursions are visible through the window. Other universes burn in the sky. Professor X watching from inside, with Wayne of impossible choices visible from space. We know from leaks that the X-Men have been destroying other Earths to protect their own from incursion, reportedly including Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe fairly early in the film. And the guilt of that is all over Charles. This is a man who built a school on the idea of peaceful coexistence, and his universe's survival has required the opposite. The X-Mansion is also where the trailer's most intense action sequences take place. This location is the battlefield. Cyclops gets a full comic accurate moment here, swearing off the ancestors, visor glowing, suit perfect, power erupting outward, which lines up with earlier leaks. And immediately alongside that is the fight everyone is going to be talking about for months. Shang-Chi versus Gambit.
Oh, well. Think I won.
Glowing purple cards. Two of the most
Yep.
power sets in Marvel.
Who got me, though? Was it Sebastian? I can't see.
This version of Gambit is from a different universe than the one
Get reward.
Wolverine, which is
Bar.
apparently why he does not
Get reward. But we're not joking.
Yelena Belova versus
And get reward.